Have you seen my skin yet?
What is that horrible abomination? Hello everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Parallel Play. I'm your host Frederick, and today I'm joined by my very special guest.
Hello, my name is Isaac. I'm the president of the UVM Gaming Guild.
For people who are not familiar with UVM Gaming Guild as a whole, would you mind just explaining to them what you guys do?
Yeah. So last year, me and a bunch of other people noticed there are no gaming organizations on campus, and that doesn't make sense. How are there not? And so what someone had the idea of doing is not just creating one single niche club for just video games, but creating a broad, overarching club for every kind of game. So not just video games, but board games, tabletop RPGs, pretty much anything that you can consider for a game. Actually, I did not start this. I had the idea of doing it, and I started working on a constitution. But then I suddenly saw posters for someone else was already starting it. So I realized, I should go attend their first meeting. There was a first meeting last year in 2018. It was just like a bunch of people like this year, in the rows of Parks Room all crowded together, trying to figure out, what do we want to do. And then I remember I signed on as the secretary and I started working on things. Carl joined us, and Carl has been our Discord manager ever since. Emerson, I believe, was the vice president at the time. So we all started working on, doing everything that you need to do to get your club recognized. So making constitution, going through the recognition process, contacting the SGAs. The president took leave from school, so we ended up having an election, and I became the president, and Parker became our secretary. Eleni is now our vice president. Wyatt basically just started our whole, D&D branch, if you could call it. He started a one-shot. He introduced me to D&D, and he introduced a bunch of other people to D&D. And he started a campaign, and at one point, he had the brilliant idea to do something which is called West Marches. Now, for those who don't know, D&D is usually played on a weekly basis with a very specific group, no larger than usually, say, 5 to 8 people, which, can make things complicated, because when you have, 100 people who want to play D&D, it's kind of, it's kind of impossible to have 100 people at one session with one singular DM. It doesn't work that way. So what Wyatt did is he created a world called the West Marches, in which there are currently, I believe, 4 or 5 DMs, and players can just join in, make a character, and just sign in for random bounties that don't necessarily have a consistent story.
As someone who has played video games their entire life, and as someone who has been part of, the video game /nerd / general community like that, do you think that we can be considered a more of a niche group, or do you think we're considered more mainstream at this point?
Absolutely mainstream at this point, and will not stop being mainstream. It's definitely, a growing thing right now, I'd say.
One of the reasons why I attribute gaming culture to is stuff online and on the internet. Typically, there's this really funny picture on the internet. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a Counter-Strike LAN party, but there's a dude duct taped to the ceiling. That is my favorite image on the internet, because it just radiates just stupidity and, epitome of gamership, and I love it. But typically, like you said before, something like D&D is very much focused on being a, group-centered project where you get together every single week and you make, you be part of a campaign. But now with stuff like the internet, and especially with things like Discord, it's united communities and introduced me to people from personal experience. It's introduced me to so many different people that I would have never, made friends with.
Wait, you can tear your ACL by playing Fortnite?
My dad showed me an article about a Major League Baseball player, either tore his ACL or tore something to the point where, because he was playing too much Fortnite, to the point where, it was basically banned in the MLB. If we want to continue talking about, the creativeness of Minecraft, you need look no further in stuff like Shadow of Israfel. Or
Oh my goodness, yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, Shadow of Israfel is this series produced by the Ye Olde Goon Squad, or Yogscast. which is like it's a British-based company that makes like a lot of, it has made a lot of strong content and continues to make a lot of strong content despite, you know, their departure from Minecraft. They started off playing Minecraft Survival, just the two of them, but then a story kind of slowly evolved where they introduced characters and a world, and they actually made like a fully fleshed out series. The technical term is a machinima. Like, they basically made a machinima in Minecraft, and at least for me, I feel like that was kind of a renaissance in the way that Minecraft was meant to be played, because then you had a bunch of other people, not necessarily imitating, but using this idea of making a machinima and turning Minecraft from a game into an ability to tell stories.
The first day after I opened the server, I come on at like, you know, right in the morning, and someone spent like 5 hours building a massive wall around our house, and it was just gone. And like a ton of people's houses were just gone. My house was gone and filled in with cobblestone.
It's interesting that you bring that up, because another subgenre of games that I like playing is multiplayer survival games like Rust and DayZ and stuff like that, where, you know, the assumption is that, hey, you know, we can work together to survive this harsh world full of zombies and other things like that. But then, you know, people are, I don't know if it's just the anonymity of it or what, but people just do bad things in those games. No, actually, it is Freudian. It is Freudian, because I read a thing from my poli-sci class, Freud, called "Civilization and Its Discontents," in which Freud explains that there are two basically primal parts of ourselves. There's the desire for intimacy in terms of like love and sex, but there's also a desire for hurt and like to be aggressive and to have a specific part of us like do bad. Given the anonymity of the internet, and given like the fact that, hey, there are literally no repercussions for hurting this person or, you know, destroying everything that they worked so hard to get, people will just do bad things. Do you want to talk about like when certain things are? Because I don't know if we touched on that.
Yeah, sure. Right now, for the time being, we have. Let's see. I'll go through the whole schedule in like weekly order. Wednesdays are our board game nights from 6 to 9 p.m. in the Davis Center Marketplace, where like the World Tortilla is. Yeah, it's basically just a bunch of people in the cafeteria play a board game. Thursday, right now, for now, it has been like 6 to 9 p.m. We meet up in Falcon 4 and we just play Minecraft and have a good time. Friday is our big game nights. We meet up and we basically just take over the entire first floor of the Davis Center, and we have like a ton of board games, we got Smash in one corner. A guy brings his VR setup, and there's a lot of yelling, and I love it. It's chaotic. By the way, if you want all the info, sign up for our mailing list. We send out our weekly schedule.
You can sign up for the mailing list here, or join their Discord.
Yes.
Here.
Yeah, go to the, in particular, go to our links page if you want more information on what exactly we do, when we do it, and, you know, how to get in contact with you. Also, if you ever, like, you know, are interested in, like, you know, starting an event or, like, you know, doing something, like, feel free to contact us, or just, like, you know, go ahead and, like, do it yourself. Like, that's the other thing, you know. Everything doesn't necessarily have to be in our club. Our objective is just to bring people together in the same room, play video games.
It's very commendable for what you do, and it's commendable when any club. It's commendable when any club does it, especially for you guys, because again, going back to the idea that we talked about before about, you know, I feel like gamers, certain, I wouldn't say everybody, but certain, you know, a lot of gamers are introverted in certain respects, so it's very hard for them to go out and like do certain things and be involved in the club. But, you know, to be able to organize everything like the game nights, like West Marches, like the Discord server and stuff like that, it's a lot of effort, and it doesn't go unnoticed.
Right, that is definitely, you know, personally, absolutely, this is very personal for me. You know, it's like challenging the idea of, you know, oh, I'm a gamer, I'm an introvert, I don't like talking to people, I'm just gonna be alone and, be sad in my room and only play video games. No, it's, you know, bringing people together and, like, you know, ultimately it's healthier for people. Strong relationships make people healthier.
Yeah.
Make people happier. And, you know, it's all about, you know, doing that. Challenge the idea of, you know, just being alone all the time.
I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Thank you again to Isaac for coming on and being on my show and just, you know, hanging out with me and playing some Minecraft. Is there anything else you would like to say to our lovely audience?
Please join my Minecraft server. I'm lonely.
Oh shit! I tapped out.
Oh great.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Park an outro.